Yeah, when you're done, you show me and I'll see if I can help you.
Hi, you guys. Okay, do you love my hair? Yeah, I do, except one curl has already come out and we just walked to the stinking car. Look at this. Okay, so we have a 45-minute drive to the marina where we are now then going to take a little ferry boat to the island. Now, Mark Pentecost, the CEO of It Works, owns this island and bought it because he wanted to have a place to teach us, his leaders, and you guys, the team, to dream. I mean, he did. And if you guys don't know much about Mark, he is one of the first people I've ever met that's a true finisher. He, sets a goal and does it. I don't know how many people before that I would hear say they wanted to do something, but they actually had no intention of ever even trying. You know, I want to have a condo in Florida, or I want to travel to Italy, or I want to... And they were just pipe dreams. What kind of car are we in, Chad?
A Dodge Challenger.
A Dodge Challenger, just his dream board car right here. And so Mark was one of the first people that said, I want to own a golf course, and I want to have a place to, bring people, and I want to move to Florida, and I want to own an island, and I want to own a basketball or, sports team, and he would set these big, audacious, crazy goals, and whether it took 1 year or 3 years or 5 years, he's accomplished almost everything he set out for. And this island, he tried to get it for 3 years. 3 years. The first year, it fell through, something happened, it got off the market, they didn't accept his offer, they didn't want to go over a certain price, and Miss Cindy Pentecost, she's like, we're not budging. If it's not over, it's not the price we want, we're not going to do it. And they were like, okay, so they lost it the first time. It got almost sold to someone in China, and then it got almost sold to someone in Texas, an oil guy. And China, apparently, they couldn't get the money out because it's a communist country. And then Texas guy, it was, I don't know what happened, but Mark was the only cash offer. And how many, what was it, 14 million?
Yeah, and they had, at one point it was on sale for, they wanted 29 million.
Yeah. They wanted 29 million, and and Cindy was like, no, not happening. We will do 14 million, but we will not do 29 million. So they bought it in cash. And I just think, you guys, for me, this really just grows my dream mind. It expands my mind to what's truly possible for this life. And so we are invited to go to a wedding on the island. And I'm going to go live on this page and throughout the night as it's convenient and not weird. Because I don't want to, be weird. But I want to show you guys just what's possible. And then number two, that you, can be here too. So we got to go for the Black Diamond experience to the island. And the goal is that they're going to bring leaders here to show us how it all works. And then we're going to be able to do team retreats on the island. They're going to do little things for Dash, top income earners, rising stars, things like that. And you're going to be able to bring your own team too. And I think, that's just so awesome. That's so awesome. It's awesome that we have a company that not only wants to grow, but they want to give back and pour into the field. And that's what they love to do. They love to give back to us and show us what's possible. So I am in the car with some amazing leaders. And so you can keep going. I'll do Jeree first. So Jeree Kneller. Hold on, come on. There we go. Yay! Hey. She is an ambassador diamond out of Nashville, Tennessee, and she is the queen of fan pages, the queen of Facebook. She is someone to follow because people want to be like her. And I think we say, your job is always to become somebody people want to hang around, and that's Jeree. She's someone people want to be around. So she's positive.
Jeree was the first person I followed.
Jeree was the first person that Barb Hauser followed as well. See, I know. So, okay, so tell us, and Chad, you're here too, I'll get you next. Jeree, just tell us a little bit about your story and what you love and whatever you want.
Okay, well, I'll be in this business for 5 years in July. And when I got started, I was a stay-at-home mama, and I was homeschooling my 2 older kiddos. And my youngest, who's autistic, was in diapers. My hubby was an active duty Army officer, so we were an extremely busy family. But we were desperately needing some side income because we were drowning in our student loan and credit card debt. And this little wrap came across our laps, and it piqued my curiosity enough for me to want to try it. I tried it, had amazing results. It was a no-brainer for us to get started as a distributor. Our first goal in the company was just $300. We just needed a little bit of wiggle room. We needed to be able to pay off those bills. And who knew that it was going to turn into what it did? I'm a high school dropout. I have a learning disability. I had a lot of cards stacked against me growing up. I was sexually abused, physically abused, and I never felt like I was worthy of doing anything that amounted to much of anything. And so whenever I got in this business and I realized it was so easy, and I found my purpose and a passion, it became more for us. It was effortless for us just to continue to share these products that we were so passionate about and in love with. And 8 months into the business, I was actually able to surpass my husband's income as an active duty Army officer. And 6 months later, he put in a packet and was able to walk away. And that was 9 years earlier than we had expected. So to say that this business changed our lives is truly an understatement. I literally was ignorance on fire. I tried the products, I fell in love, and I shared it with everybody I came into contact with. So I know that if I can do that with all the baggage that I carried from my past, then why not you?
So tell us how many people you wrapped in your first month.
Over 50.
Okay.
We wrapped over 50 our first month, and a lot of them were one-on-one appointments. I don't think we even did a wrap party the first month. And I did it, well, because of course Chad was gone, and whenever the baby was napping and the other two were doing school, I would just have people come over. And I want you to understand that I had just moved. We had just gotten stationed at Fort Campbell, so we had no friends, no family. We knew no one around there. So all of these people were either soldiers that Chad met at work, that he talked them into coming over and get wrapped, and women that I was meeting out in the grocery store. And I would literally just carry my phone around with me with my before and after pictures on it, and I'd be standing in line, and I would start talking to myself. And I'd be like, I cannot believe what these wraps just did to me. And then people would like look around, and I'd be like, girl. And I would just like shove my phone in their face, and I would say, look at what this did to my body. And then of course I was excited, they were excited, and I'm like, guess what, you can come to my house, I can wrap you, it's only $25. And so because I made it not a big deal, and it's only $25, and I assumed that they wanted it as bad as I did, they came over and they paid $25. We made over $800 our first month just in wrap cash. That wasn't including our commissions, and we were able to go emerald. So if you want this bad enough, even if you don't have a network that's around you, if you hustle, you can make it happen. The following month we did the same thing. We did do a couple parties, but we ended up wrapping just over 50 people in total, and we were able to go diamond. And Chad, he promoted right alongside of me. So when I went emerald, he was my ruby. When I went diamond, he was my emerald. So we were making some really, really good side money. And so yeah, that's how we did it.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I love their story because, you know, they didn't have someone saying, go do this and try this and do that. They like just got going. You know what I mean? I think sometimes we totally overcomplicate it. We think we have to do all of this training, or we have to know everything about the products, or we need to have scripts or whatever. And that stuff can be helpful to build your confidence when you don't quite know what to do or say. But at the end of the day, like, stop thinking and start doing. That is what they did. They just got the wrap on people. And because of that, people signed up as customers and distributors. And that's our job. Like, that's all we do, you guys. What we do is so simple. We just seriously get in our own way. So, Chad, I'm going to have it be like on... Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. There you go. So, Chad, you were in the military when you guys started. So, what the heck did you think when you came home and Dree's like, so, Tom, let me show you what I'm doing?
Well, I actually got really excited because... when I first heard about this industry way back when I was 21, which was like decades ago, right? And I went over to a friend's house, and he literally handed me a magazine, and he said, pick out your favorite house. Handed me another magazine, pick out your favorite boat. Another one, pick out your favorite car. And then he was like, how are you going to get this stuff? And I was like, I'm not, because it's too much. There's no way I could ever have those things. And he said, well, what if I could show you a way that it would be possible? And I was like, yeah. So he showed me a company then called Amway, and I'd never even heard of this industry. I didn't know anything about it, and I was like, this is crazy awesome. I wish someone would have told me this forever ago. I'm going to do it. And so I jumped in, and like a lot of people probably watching this right now, I just thought everyone else would think it was a no-brainer too, and everybody would want to join and buy and get involved. And a lot of people didn't want to, and I was like, what? And so I kind of I think I sold my parents some breast spray and some toilet paper, and I quit. And then so a few years later, another friend and another company that introduced me, and I was like, yeah, again, no-brainer, and this time everyone will want this. And then everyone didn't want it. And so that time I made a few $100s, and then I quit. Well, then the third time, I actually found a company, and I locked onto someone who was a lot like me, that had had success, and this was in 2001, so I had my first real mentor, and I was so teachable. He would say, read this book, and I would read this book. He'd say, go watch this, and I'd watch this. He'd say, go to this, and I'd go to this. So that was a huge learning time for me. And then when I met Jeree, we needed benefits and stuff, so I decided to go back into the Army, and I basically got out of that business. But I had gotten to a couple thousand a month in that business. So then I kept wanting to do something because that entrepreneurial part of me kept coming up. So I got involved in a fourth business, and now I'm in the Army working 12 hours a day, and I came home and I was spending all my time trying to build this business. So Jeree and I went to counseling.
I hated it.
Jeree hated that all my extra time was trying to build a business. And so I went to the counselor, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm giving up on network marketing. I'm going to focus on my Army career. So you can imagine my surprise when Jeree says, I want to try this wrap, and if we like it, there's actually a business opportunity attached to it. And I was like, should I get my hopes up one more time, right? And so this is our fifth company, our last company, and I just loved it. And for me, though, when I look at all my experience in the other companies, for me, this is the only company I've ever been involved with where truly average, normal, regular, everyday people are having crazy, awesome success. I mean, it feels like in the other companies I was in, it would be people that were very well-spoken and well-dressed and just looked like they came off the cover of a GQ magazine. It was almost you had to have all these special talents and this extra stuff. And in It Works, I went to our first conference, and there was about 6,000 people there, and I saw very, very young couples making crazy money. I saw people on stage with their hands shaking, they could barely remember their own name, and making crazy money with this company. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, it's really truly possible here for anybody who's willing to put in the effort and be teachable. And so it was so exciting for me, for us to get started with this together and to be on this journey. And, in just 8 months in It Works, we quadrupled my 11-year Army career. And now I have so much more time freedom, so much more financial freedom, and we get to do stuff like this when we want to with no limitations, and it's really, really awesome.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I didn't know some of that. I love it. One of the things I've learned from Chad is he is always hungry to learn. Like, personal development is his staple. Like, he is so wise and he's so full of knowledge and quotes and stories and things, and it's because he's spent so much time being teachable. So that's a question I have for you. You are surrounded by success. You are. My question is are you teachable? Are you hungry for more? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to ask questions? Chad sought out a mentor that could pour into him and teach him. And you have that at your fingertips if you choose to use it. So last but not least, we have our own very special ambassador. This is Barb Hauser. She is on our team. She's ambassador from Canada. And share a little bit about your story.
All right. Well, I've been in the business just about 4 years now, and it has been an adventure of a lifetime. I fell in love with the company because of the products primarily. Fell in love with the greens, but then when I looked at the opportunity that we have with It Works, I was really blown away. And I had been a teacher, I had ran a daycare center, all I ever wanted to do was be a full-time stay-at-home mom. My mom had stayed home full-time with us, and I wanted that life, but felt like it was pretty impossible to have a one-income family. And when I started looking at this opportunity, I got excited and hopeful again that this would be something that would allow me to be home. And so I decided to go all in. Why do something if you're not really going to go for it? And so I just started talking to everyone that I knew. I realized that, people don't know what they're looking for until they know it exists and until you offer it to them. So I started calling everybody I knew and just saying, hey, take a look at this. Tell me what you think. And I shared this with everyone I could. I probably did about 30 parties and one-on-one appointments my first 9 days in the business, and that's what took us to Diamond. But you know what? I didn't stop there. I really wanted to build momentum with my business, and my husband was not on board. You know, he kept telling me to just go get a real job. The whole time I was really trying to pursue this. And I just had to block out those voices. And I know we all have people in our life who, you know, doubt us and try and make us doubt the opportunity. But I just had to block it out and stay focused on the vision that I saw and that I knew was possible. And I knew that if I believed it hard enough, eventually that belief would rub off on him and other people around me. And it did, you know. It took almost a year until we got him to his first event. So make sure you're getting out to events and bringing everyone in your life that you want to get support from. Because when they really see the culture that we have here and they see the success that people have had, you know, that was it. Matt watching the Millionaires Club cross the stage, that was the defining moment for him of realizing that these are normal people, just, you know, like Chad was saying, and this is something that anyone can do. So we decided to go all in and go even harder and, you know, just kept moving forward with our business. So this is a life-changing opportunity. It is something that people just have a hard time wrapping their heads around because it sounds a little bit too good to be true. So just be prepared for that and know that your confidence will override people's skepticism, and that if you believe it and you just keep pursuing it, you know, block those voices out. The people that said no to me 4 years ago in those first 9 days, some of them are still just messaging me now. So it's crazy how long it can take for some people to come around. But, you know, just like Denise said, this is something that does change your family. It changes your legacy. And you have the choice to do that or not. It's all up to you. You know, you can't count on other people. You can't count on your upline, your downline, your sideline. You know, you be prepared that whatever chart, whatever promotion it is that you're working towards, that is your chart. And I truly believe that you are capable of doing it all if you need to. So just be bold. Don't wait for anybody else, and make it happen yourself.
Yay! Boom! Mic drop. That's right. So I'm just going to end with this. Okay, you guys, this is the first time that we've been in Florida, in probably, 7 years, where we don't have a team event. We don't have a training. We don't have a reason to be on. You know what I mean? We don't have something that we're planning or in charge of. We really are just here for a wedding. We're here to relax. We're here to play and have fun with each other. And we're still choosing to use this time to pour into you. And I hope you realize, that makes me emotional, because your leadership truly cares. Not just me, but Jeree and Barb and all the leaders that we've been with. We want you to experience success, and we're willing to do whatever it takes for you to do that. So just know that you're in good hands, but it's still up to you to put it from your head to your heart to your feet and get the wrap on as many people as you can, because we all want you at the island. Yeah. So stay tuned to the page. We are going to be back later this evening to show you what the Pentecost Little Bokeelia Island is all about. Bye.